Hey guys, it's John the Magician Dotson, you know, the new flyweight king of BKFC. You're watching the Bare Knuckle Show with Brian Socia.
Dotson to the inside left hand. Coming forward, right to the body, left hand. Right hand, left hand. We might be done, and we are. A massive win for John Dotson. Welcome to BKFC. Final seconds of this fight.
It's not going to be a technical boxing match. It's going to be a dogfight.
Into the body, to the head, big shots, knockdown number one. Those long straight punches on the counter right hand. Straight 1-2 from Dotson, overhand right hand, down goes Nick Villar. Overhand left from Santiago, knockdown number 4, 5, 6.
Can't hear you in my ears. It's fight week, baby. What's going on? It's Brian Socia. The Bare Knuckle Show's on live from Satellite 5. Glad to be here as we cruise into Albuquerque, as we cruise into BKFC 48. A great show as always. A lot to talk about as always. Appreciate you stopping by. I can tell you, today alone, we're going to have some exclusive BKFC UK trial. A first look at that. That's going to be amazing because, you know, a lot of stuff. UK, the birthplace of Bare Knuckle, right? We'll see what we found out from there and what we can expect. Also, John Dotson, main event against J.R. Ridge, looking for the first flyweight champion in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship to be crowned. Could be John Dotson. We'll find out. Talk to him ahead of that fight. Also, some new signings. We'll go through those as well. Always like to find them out. And some exclusive comments from Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt regarding the fight with Bryce Hall, how excited he is to be cornering him. Of course, Bryce Hall being cornered by Lorenzo Hunt, and you know, then you have G. Perez being cornered by Chris Camozzi, and it was just announced too they're going to be fighting each other, so who knows what could happen. That'll be awesome. Speaking of G versus Bryce Hall, who are the fighters picking? Went through, asked some fighters who they're picking, and we're going to give you their comments. We'll get into that a little bit later too, and I will learn how to talk and not stumble over my words at some point. I'm just excited about BKFC 48, and like I said, I'm excited to have you here with us. So some other stuff I want to talk about. Last week, before we get to Dotson, by the way, that'll be around 12:20. Last week, we saw Travis Thompson barge into the studio. He was outside and, you know, came in. Travis is never lost for words. And it made me think, we all saw this. Travis is just like, he's threatening to punch Brandon. He's just being insane. And he kept smashing his knuckles like he's saying, see, that kind of hurts me. He didn't care. Bone on bone, bone on bone, he kept saying. So you wonder, bare knuckle fighting, and if you're new to this, how do these men and women train their knuckles? They all have different things. We've seen, I think it was Reggie Barnett. I've seen him punching a pail of sand to toughen his knuckles. There's been so many different ways of doing it. But I thought it was interesting, something we posted on our Instagram. You can follow at Bare Knuckle FC if you haven't yet. I don't know what you're doing. You can follow. This is how women's champ, Christine Misfit Faria, has been training her knuckles. This is interesting to me. Let's just go to the tape. There you go. I mean, that's to me, that's insane. I wouldn't just find a high school, I don't know, field, something. It looks sometimes field shoes that punch into steel. But I guess that's how bare knuckles built. That's why I'm not a bare knuckle fighter. Not for me. And I saw Brian Duran. He's out doing all kinds of stuff. This guy, well, I'll let the video speak for itself. Look at what this guy's punching. This is insane.
So I had to use the big one. No puedo encontrar un martillo normal, so tuve que usar uno grande, ¿me entiendes?
Bitch on the floor so you know it's real.
Catch up.
I can't. I'm going to try to catch up. I have my Crescent Tools hammer here. I'm going to punch it. Do you think that's a good idea there in the control room? Should I do that?
Yeah, go right ahead.
It's real. That's got to hurt, though, man. Ow, that's holy shit. Oh, I was only messing around. It does hurt, man. He's more of a man than I'll ever be. I have no problem saying that about Brian Duran. He also likes his fruit as well. He showed us his power, I guess, by doing something else. Let's check. Brian's been up to all kinds of stuff. Let's check out what else he did.
August 25th. About to catch a body. About to fucking blow a melon.
Catching a body, blowing a melon, as he says. It looks like he was wearing prison shoes there. That's what it looked like with the socks. They take them off when they fight. Just a random observation. But I don't know. How hard do you have to punch to break a watermelon? That's not something I think I could do. My hand would still be hurting. Bare knuckle fighters are another level. And these are just some of the things we've seen on Instagram. Of course, you can find out more as you follow us on Instagram at Bare Knuckle FC. It just blows my mind that they're punching these type of things. I've seen people punch wood before as well. But it got me thinking, like, I just punched that hammer like halfway, and it didn't feel great. Obviously, why would it? My knuckles aren't trained to that. But I kind of want to go around here. What would you, if you had to punch something, right? Gun to your head. You can leave it in the comment section as well. I know Gator Wrestler's in there. I see that Quailman's in there as well. Hello, Quailman. Greetings to you as well. So there's a lot of people in the comment section. I want to know, what would you punch if you had to punch something of these three things? So I was thinking about this. This is what I do. I think about stupid things like this. Would you rather punch the steel like Christine Faria was doing? Would you rather punch through a glass window? Or would you rather punch a brick wall? They're the three. And I don't know. I'm kind of, it's a dumb question, but I'm in the middle of it. So I'm trying to, Evan, how about you? What would you rather hit? If you had to hit one.
Your sister's ass.
What'd you say? My sister said, I don't have a sister. I got a brother. You're in trouble. So
Soft.
Really, what would you, if you had to pick one of those, what would you rather hit?
What were the options?
It was, you could hit the steel like Christine Faria was doing. Mm-hmm. You could hit a brick wall, full tilt I'm talking, boom. Or you could hit a punch through like a glass window.
Full speed.
Yeah, and see, I should say, we know the glass window's not going to toughen you up. I just started thinking about what I'd rather hit. That's kind of what I was thinking. Brandon, where are you with that?
What were the options?
Oh, Jesus.
Lord. This guy, I'm going to put him out in the streets again. It was
Don't even, just say something so we can move on.
Wood.
Oh, Evan doesn't want to be here today, I don't think.
No.
Well, you can go.
I'll punch wood.
Evan's going to punch me. He's going to hit me. Punch wood. Wood wasn't even an option. Are you listening in there?
No, I'm doing stuff.
He is doing stuff. Well, I think I would punch glass because I feel like the glass, if you punch straight through, you might get some cuts, but at least you're not breaking your hand, and hopefully it doesn't cut your wrist if you're punching like this. Brick wall, of course, Billboard's Nerd is saying. Big Ben saying steel. Gator Wrestler's saying brick. I don't know. I'm with Evan. I think a window would be it. Or Brandon could just say, wood, which we're not even discussing. Of course you'd hit wood. Well, there you go. Keep commenting. I'd like to see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Also, a lot of other stuff to get into before we talk to John Dotson, who's main eventing coming up this Friday, going for the flyweight title of the world, the championship of the world against J.R. Ridge. Looking forward to John Dotson. This guy's just running through people left and right. We're looking forward to see what he's going to do next. Let's get to the emails. We might as well get to the emails. If you have something you want to send in, we talk about this all the time. You can send it into thebareknuckleshow@gmail.com. They're going to put the graphic up for you because they're on point, and I appreciate that. You can send videos in. If you're at a fight and you want to take a picture with somebody you see on the show, send that in. We'll put it up in the back. We just added this guy back here from Beers, Bowls, and Brawls. I'm going to mess that up. I think that's what it's called. And we got some more we're going to add. I also just added, where's my man at? Right here. Antonio. There you are, Antonio. Shout out to you as well. Thanks for sending that in, man. This week we had a picture sent in by a guy that goes by the name of Jer Bear. Interesting looking fellow. He's trying to serve us drinks or something, I think. Let's see. What's this guy? A GQ? It's like a modeling shoot? What is this guy? What's your read on him? Evan, what's your read on him?
He looks like he could make really good pictures.
He looks like he should he does look like he can make good pictures. It looks like he should be in like a photo gallery. It's creepy. Like Twilight Zone. Jer Bear, a big fan. We appreciate him. Comes to a lot of the fights. We'll throw him on the wall too. He thinks he's James Bond or something. It looks like what's he have? Do you have 2 drinks in his hand? Lush. All right. Let's see. Send those photos in. That was the fan mail this week. And we probably could barely get the fan mail this week because if you watched last week and you tried to rewatch, at least on YouTube, they ripped our show down because of the DAZN footage, which I thought we had cleared. We're getting all kinds of cease and desist left and right. We got to be careful. I mean, next thing you're getting me the Breaking Bad in the background. Headed to Albuquerque. That's why we're doing the Breaking Bad thing this week. As I said, John Dotson coming on in a couple minutes. But I want to talk about the fighters. The fighters' picks for G versus Bryce Hall. This has been a hot topic. Of course, Bryce Hall, the influencer, 35 million followers. We're going to see how he does in his debut. He's had one fight where he got knocked out by Austin McBroom, who was another influencer. That has gloves on. This is different. This is bare knuckle. Let me stress that. Bryce Hall is fighting bare knuckle. It's the same rules as everyone else fights for. You have to respect him for stepping in the ring. But we decided to kind of go through different fighters and see what they were saying, what their thoughts are, because you and I can predict it, of course, all day. And I'll take your predictions too, by the way, in the in the comments as well. And we'll see what the stars are saying. Let's go to Jared, Captain Deadpool Warren first. Coming off an interesting fight against Josh D-Day Dyer. Jared saying that I think Perez has an easy win here. The size difference won't be enough to overcome the lack of experience. I was concerned about the size difference. That's my main concern. That's me talking, Brian, not Jared. That's a good way of looking at the lack of experience. But he does have Lorenzo Hunt, who's going to corner him, who's been there for him, who's been training with him, and there's not many better to train with you. But what can you learn? That's the question. In, a month or two? Who knows? Maybe a lot, maybe a little. But I know it takes a while to adapt to things. But he has some bad habits, but probably because he doesn't know what he's doing. So Lorenzo almost got a clean slate, I would think. It's going to be interesting to see. Moving on to a woman who was on last week, Sydney Sundance Smith. There she is with the Sundance glare, I think. Sundance stare, I believe she called it. She said, this is great analyzation, by the way. I think the Hall and G fight is going to be extremely interesting to watch. That's it. That's all we got from her. It will be interesting to watch. I guess she didn't want to commit. She doesn't want to upset anybody. Everyone else is committing. Keith the Rockstar Richardson, he's fighting. Looking forward to seeing his featured fight on the card this Friday night. He commented as well. Whoa. So we got a gunshot. Oh, you guys are insane. That's the wrong photo. There you go. That's his girlfriend. That's not him. That's the wrong. And hey, what a girlfriend to have. We love Taylor. The wrong photo. You pervs. You got itchy trigger finger for that. Keith Rockstar Richardson saying, my man G. He my manned him. Oh, no. He said, my man G. He's a seasoned bare knuckle fighter who has shown that he can get the W.
Fucking man.
And much respect to Bryce Hall for ending the world of BKFC, but I think the experience gap is going to be too much. That's what Keith Rockstar Richardson's saying. Then we move on to another guy who's going to be on the card in the main event against the guy we're going to be talking to in a couple minutes. I keep telling you, John Dotson, for the featherweight championship of the world. JR, the Lion Ridge, he's saying that hats off to Bryce Hall for stepping into the squared circle, but bare knuckle is a grown man's game. You can't just play bare knuckle with an experienced fighter like G. These influencers need to wake up and realize this is not a game. Going with my brother G and educating him that bare knuckle is not a game. So obviously not a game, and he knows that going for the title. By the way, this will be the first ever bare knuckle championship, I believe, crowned in Albuquerque, New Mexico that we've had. So this is historic. We're looking forward to it. That's Jared Lion Ridge. I wonder if it upsets him a little bit that the co-main event to his show, as John Dotson said, it's his show. It's not Bryce's show. It's his show, is that. Or maybe it'll get more eyeballs. We'll wait and see. Let's look into Howard Davis. H.D. Davis says that I have the cut man cutting Bryce Hall up all night, and he's eventually not going to come out for the third round. That's what H.D. Davis said. We had a beautiful picture of H.D. Davis. We were going to put H.D. Davis over, but I don't know. I guess it froze. So we'll move on to the next one. Oh, there's H.D. Davis. Let's give him his shine for a minute. Let's show him. H.D. Davis, he's good comments from him. Oh, he's fighting in Miami coming up, right? I believe, as is I know Brian Duran is. I can't remember. We have so many cards going on, but you can check bkfc.com for more. And then last but certainly not least, we talked to Doug Cold Red Coltrane. He said, the cut man is my dude. He's going to make quick work out of the YouTube boy and send him back to making videos. Speaking of making videos, thank you, Doug, for that. If you remember a while ago, we spoke with Doug Cold Red Coltrane, and he told me he was a rapper. So I don't remember if we played this before in the show. We might have. If we have, it's worth a second look. Let's check out Doug Cold Red Coltrane. I can't speak. Cold Red Coltrane.
Hey, hang on a second, Brian.
What? What's the matter?
We got John Dotson in here.
Oh, is he waiting?
Yeah, we're going to have to...
let's go
we'll
to
get
him.
to the Coltrane rap after that.
Well, yeah, if we do what we do, I'm sure Doug will be very excited that we're playing his rap. But now I want to get to John Dotson. We can't keep him waiting. The future champ is on the phone, as he was saying earlier on in the broadcast. He's on the Zoom. What's up, magician? How are you up here?
Hey, brother, how you doing? I'm feeling amazing and ready to go. I just want to go ahead and get the world title already.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for everything we have coming up with you. You in the main event in your hometown. That's got to feel good doing it in front of your hometown.
Oh, absolutely. It feels more amazing that I go ahead and not only solidify the title here, but I get to be the first ever bare knuckle champion in BKFC, and not only that, the first bare knuckle boxer champion that New Mexico's ever had. So I'm more excited about just jumping in and punching somebody's face in.
I know you're excited about that, sacrificing your hands, as you like to say. Yeah, that's history making. We were talking about that a couple minutes ago. This is going to be history made, especially when, I'm not going to say if, because I know your mindset is when you win the title at home. That'll be awesome. Now, you're undefeated here in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and you haven't had much time in the squared circle. I believe that we had a stat graphic for you last week we put up. It was 141 seconds total time in ring, because you don't waste any time. You go for the knockout. Your fists come flying. Is it going to be any different this time? Is it just you going balls to the wall again, just like you've been doing?
Absolutely. I'm making sure that I can go out there, balls to the wall, being able to destroy this dude as fast as I possibly can. Like, I don't think he's talking about him being ferocious and he's just like me and he's putting all his numbers up. But if you're just like me, that means you have to have fought the same people, have the same type of intensity, and like pretty much have the same type of skill level.
You say that here, and I noticed on BKFC.com you were quoted, and you were saying you don't feel J.R. Ridge is in your league. Is that obviously something you still stand by?
Absolutely.
And you're saying
there's no way he can sit there and say that he is in my league, even though you guys put him as number one on the BKFC app and your guys' rankings, that he's number one. You can't call yourself number one. We've been finished. I've never been finished. I'm sitting there doing my job, and I'm finishing everybody by not even a blink of an eye. I want them, everybody, to sit there and continuously see me go out there, crush everybody's skull. I don't want to leave it to the judges because I know this game always favors like a knocked out or finish. So it's because I've been that dude on the wrong end of the decision. So I'm not going to leave it to the judge for this one either.
Yeah, you can't.
Even if we go to that sixth round, I'm going to go ahead and finish them either way.
Yeah, you can never leave it to the judges. And if it does go to the sixth round, I mean, I hope it gets done earlier for the sake of you guys, but the fans, that's always exciting when it goes to the sixth round. Everyone gets pretty pumped up. As far as, you know, is he prepared, do you think, for your speed and power, and you're just like balls to the walls in this, if that's a word?
Yeah, honestly, I hope that he is. Because if he is, then me and him will have an exciting fight. And if he's not, then he's just going to fall like everyone else.
I think I feel like, I mean, we're seeing it here on screen. You just look like a fish to water. I mean, I know you're a pro fighter, but you come into bare knuckle. It doesn't always work for everybody. You just seem so comfortable from day one. Why is bare knuckle so fitting for you?
Because I have a very, very unique style. I love to hit and not get hit at all. And as I be very elusive, cracking everybody with that devastating power that I have, like even Demetrius Johnson said, I'm the greatest rival that he's ever had. Because of the fact that anytime I hit somebody, I barely even touch them, they are continuously falling. And I've let it known throughout my whole UFC career and everything else in Ryzen and any other promotions.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. That's why I was excited. I saw you on your local news affiliate before you even came here, basically saying you want to show Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship your knockout power, and you're becoming in Bare Knuckle a huge knockout artist. We're seeing it time and time again. And another thing that we see is your brother's been fighting on a lot of cards with you. I think that's super cool that you guys can be on the same card, both be undefeated. And we've talked about this before with you. You guys will like make friendly bets, friendly wagers, who's going to finish their opponent first and stuff like that. Is there any kind of wager this time between you guys?
No, there's no friendly wager, just who's going to be able to do it faster. We just want to see both of us come out with gold. And I want to come out with that gold belt as much as he did. I mean, even though my brother's not fighting for a title for today, it's his title too. He's the one who helped me get into this organization. Not only did he help me get into it, helped me train to make sure that we can go ahead and grind every single day.
So at the Dotson house, you guys probably would fight a little bit growing up, I would guess, here and there. And who knows who would come out on top? I don't know. I'm not going to go down that road. Unless you want to tell me. I mean, who was it, 50-50? Would you beat his ass? Who would come out on top?
Oh, man, we'll leave that to everybody's imagination. Because me and my brother, no matter how many times we fight each other, we always have each other's back when we're sitting each other against every opponent that stands on our wings. So that's the only way that I know that both of us are going to come out on top on Friday night.
So you do. You guys have this bond. It's hilarious. You play off each other well, aside from just fighting. But you can tell there's a strong bond there as brothers. You guys get along like, I don't know, ham and burger. You get along great. So I wonder, when you're cornering him or watching him fight, I know he's a grown man. I know you're a grown man. But what's that like, watching your brother in there? If you want to, help him out, like, is there any nerves that you have when you watch him fight, or is it just you guys both know your machines and you're so prepared?
I don't ever get nervous for my brother. I'm more excited. And it's the same type of feeling. Both of them have the same butterfly effects. And I know my brother's going to go out there, do what he does best, and just hurt people every step of the way. But tell you the truth, like, if my brother actually needs that backup, I'll go out there and go fight anybody any day of the week. Because I know my brother did the exact same thing for me. So,
yeah, strong family vibe. You can always see that with you too. And the other thing is, as we look at this, I feel like, of course, you could be the first flyweight champion of the world in Albuquerque for BKFC, but I feel like you also had some business. You had mentioned to me before about maybe bantamweight, and Reggie Barnett holds that title. What are your thoughts on that? Is that something you'd be interested in after you conquer this title? Is that something you wanted before this title? Where are you at with that?
Tell you the truth, I want to go ahead and fight Reggie Barnett. He's the one who I was supposed to fight. I was scheduled to fight here in Albuquerque, but then he backed out because his mom said he couldn't fight me for whatever reason. So until he gets permission to fight me at any weight class, I don't really care.
Wow. So, wow. Okay. So you're the magician. You're saying you'd make him disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, apparently I made him disappear pretty quickly, so I don't even care too much. Like, he was scheduled to fight me again. There are 2 different fight cards here, and he both said no to both of them. So I'm not going to sit there and hold my breath to this dude who wanted to actually step up and fight a real man, an actual real fighter, because he trained with Johnny Bedford, and he fought Johnny Bedford twice, and I knocked out Johnny Bedford, and he got slept twice by Johnny Bedford. So the numbers are not in his favor.
Understood. So that's a fight we might see, we might never see. We'll wait and see with bated breath here to see if we're going to see that fight. But we're excited about you and JR Ridge. Again, coming up this Friday, BKFC.com. You can grab it on the app. As we said, the crowd is obviously going to be completely behind you. And Albuquerque is a fight town, man. They are loud. They are nuts. What's that feel like? I mean, a lot of us will never feel that, walking down to a fight and the whole place is going nuts for you. Do you hear it, or do you kind of just block it out?
I hear it, I feed off it, and it gives me so much more energy and reason to go ahead and do what I do. It's more of a purpose for me to represent, not only for my hometown, but for the people that are sitting there behind me. They're paying money to see this violence, and I want to show them the beautiful destruction that I can go ahead and bring.
It is beautiful destruction. As I said at the top of the interview, you've talked about you don't care. You'll sacrifice your hands. Kind of tell us a little more about that and that mentality you have.
That mentality actually is since I got let go of UFC. Like, I wasn't risking it for the job. I was trying to fight just so I didn't lose it. And then I ended up losing my job. And I was like, man, like, why did I even get into fighting? Like, what was the reason that I wanted to be here in the first place? Was it because of X, Y, Z? Did I just want the paycheck? Did I want the fame? I was like, no, I just want to go out there and hurt people. That's the reason I wanted to fight. I enjoy the contact, like just the contact, the physical sport, just hitting somebody. That brings me joy. I know that sounds like a more vicious and violent thing. So I've already come up with this whole mentality that every time I'm going out there, I'm looking to kill. It's not, I'm really trying to kill the man. I just know it's kill or be killed. And this is the mentality I'm going to enjoy for the rest of my life. There's nothing more of an adrenaline high of being able to you're sacrificing your life to go ahead and use it as a wager for your bet. So I know that sounded really retarded. Because of the fact that
that's right.
I have very less carbs in my system.
I was just, you called it out. I was just going to move on and not say anything, but now that you said it, yeah, a little bit. So thanks for being honest.
So let me rephrase what I just said. I'm just making sure that I'm putting my life on the line every single time, and I want to go ahead and feel that purpose, that sense of urgency to go ahead and have an iron will crushing everybody. If I don't do that, then I didn't do for myself because I didn't win anything. And the win that I want to have has to come from being able to be alive.
So the celebration when you do win, by the way, that was well stated. Good job. But the celebration when you do win, the backflip. We love the backflip. I love the backflip. I mean, is that done any other time in your life, or is it just for reserved from, like, you just bust that out in your backyard? I would do it down the street if I knew how to do that.
No, I bust out anytime I want to. Like, literally, my buddy Kenny Sullivan is one of the fantastic parkour practitioners here at Albuquerque, and he actually helped me learn how to do some flips and get ready for everything. So with Kenny teaching me how to do some amazing flips, I use that as my parkour background, and I've then competed in American Ninja Warrior and everything else. So it's kind of fun, to tell you the truth.
That's awesome. I didn't realize you did parkour, and you've done American Ninja Warrior, like, locally?
No, I actually competed on American Ninja Warrior.
How did I miss that? I'll have to go find that on YouTube or something. You have to send it to me. I'd love to see it. I had a friend, Mikey P, that did the same thing. That stuff is absolutely amazing. How'd you do?
I almost made it to the warp wall. I got DQ'd because I kicked the bar. There's some red blinds that they say you can't touch, and I end up touching it, so they just told me to fall.
I'm gonna have to look for that. Well, anyway, congratulations for getting on the show. I know it's not easy to do. That's awesome. I didn't know that about you. Learned something new here on the Bare Knuckle Show. So aside from all the parkour training and the backflip that we love, of course, you're anticipating doing another backflip here. And I think I asked this before just in conversation, but I mean, are you going to have the belt on when you backflip this time, or is it going to be held and then you get it? What's your thought?
See, I was actually thinking about that. I don't know if I'm going to do backflip with the belt on, or I was going to let Albuquerque go ahead and flip out for me.
We're excited to see. whatever you end up
They're gonna
doing.
dive in and cheering on because they know that they got the bread and butter, like with me being a champion.
They sure do. They're going to be coming unglued. I can't wait to hear them when you walk down there against J.R. Ridge. What are your keys to victory for this? How do you plan on beating J.R. Ridge?
Keys of victory is going to be speed, power, and precision. Same thing as always.
Do you see any holes in his game as far as what you can exploit? I mean, if there's time to do that, maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like it's the same Dotson we always look forward to seeing. You're going to rush him and just put hands to his face.
Literally, that's all I'm going to go do, and hopefully he can be ready for that because I'm just a whirlwind, a little Tasmanian devil that's going to sit there and just punch him in the face. I've trained with the best in the world. I've sat there, fought the best in the world, and they all said the exact same thing. I hit the hardest that I've ever been hit, and I'm the fastest dude they've ever seen. So J.R. Ridge is going to be sitting there saying the exact same thing coming August 11th. This week, Friday.
It's going to be awesome. People in the comment section are so excited to see you fight. Everybody's talking about you, and I know you can't see them, so I'll let you know that. That's awesome. So before we get out of here, they're pumped about it, man. Before we get out of here,
He said that amazing. This is what?
You're like the happiest, friendliest fighter I think we've ever had on the show. Before we let you get out of here, what's that going to feel like? I mean, what's that going to feel? Have you envisioned that moment? Are you an envision guy where you have the first ever World Bare Knuckle Championship around your waist, maybe over your shoulder, in front of your hometown? Just tell me what you're envisioning, what that's going to feel like, man.
I haven't really envisioned that yet. I'm just envisioning hitting J.R. Ridge as many times as possible and dropping him. Like, I've actually made pretty much a lot of predictions of what I want to do, and I just want to see which is going to happen. Like, how many times is he going to be willing to get up? How many times I'm going to drop him? And how many times I'm going to break a few bones in my hands?
Well, I can tell you this. Your world title belt used to appear on our show right in front of here, and they took that from me, so I don't have one anymore. So whoever wins it, I'm excited, but now we have to get another one here for the show because I didn't even know it was gone yet. But that is a little piece of nugget of info for those watchers, those viewers. That's going to be the title that you're going to have around your waist, hopefully, by the end of the night. And you talk about not envisioning how you're going to feel, but you've obviously envisioned the fight. You're talking about just attacking. How does it end? When does it end?
Like they all been in first. So trying to make sure I sacrifice it all in the first round, and I know he doesn't have enough stamina to go past that. So we'll see.
John the Magician Dotson, ready to make him disappear. J.R. Ridge, I'm talking about this Friday night, Tingley Coliseum, Albuquerque, New Mexico. If you haven't bought your tickets, bkfc.com. If you haven't grabbed the app yet, you can grab that, sign up for it as well. It's going to be an amazing card. You guys are on top. And John, I know that you're just training. It's fight week, so thanks for taking the time with us, man. I really appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. I'm actually going back into the gym right now.
See?
I'm still here.
That's why John Dotson's a future champion, man. He's ready to rock. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. I'll see you in Albuquerque, man.
All right, for sure. See you soon.
See you, bud. All right, there he is. John the Magician Dotson made himself disappear. Obviously ready for the fight in Albuquerque coming up this Friday night. Again, bkfc.com. You can grab that app. It's all there for you. That's going to be an awesome main event. I'm very excited about it. Chris Lytle's going to join us in just a couple minutes for Lytle's Locks. We'll talk about some fights to be watching out for on the card, and we'll also talk about John Dotson, the main event with J.R. Ridge. We'll talk about G and Bryce Hall. We'll talk about Keith Richardson and Derek Perez as well, and just kind of see what Lytle's thinking, because, I mean, he's a guy that he analyzes, he kind of color commentates, I should say, the fight, and he's been in there. He's done bare knuckle. He's done MMA. He's done it all. So it's always fun to get what Chris has to say. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it, though. John Dotson, thanks for joining us. Let's do some tryout talk here. There's been a lot of tryout talk going on. Matter of fact, there was recently a tryout in the UK, and I'd like to examine that. I don't think we have much footage from it, but tryouts in the UK, birthplace of bare knuckle. So we'd like to see what's going on there in the UK, and we're developing huge in the UK. We're getting a lot of play over there, and we're doing a lot more events. So we decided to do some tryouts there. I believe we have a short clip from something that happened in the tryouts. If you could roll that clip, guys, that'd be great.
Yeah. Right, go.
There you go. Just a sample of some of the stuff we're going to see. Bare knuckle is a man's game. It's a women's game too, but you know what I'm trying to say. 2023, I don't get in trouble, but it's a man's game. It's a tough person's game. Let's keep it at that. You don't just come in and play bare knuckle. You do it. As a lot of the fighters have been saying, that's why they're kind of giving respect to Bryce Hall against G. Perez. And I started thinking about that more. Do I want to see Bryce Hall get sliced up? Yeah, I do. I want to see G beat his ass, quite frankly, because I'm from Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. I don't want an influencer to walk in and beat up G. I just don't want to see that happen. But thinking about it more, man, I'm not stepping there to do bare knuckle. You're not stepping there to do bare knuckle. So you got to give him a little bit of respect there for stepping in. And I think that you can see that. It's not easy. Speaking of tryouts, how important they are, that's how we find a lot of you that we're going to put on Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. We have some tryouts coming up. I know Chris Lytle's helping with tryouts. There's some other ones as well. What's that trial coming up? I know we have one coming up in Roanoke, Virginia. That'll be Saturday, August 19th. With Chris Lights Out Lytle. You can register, of course, at bkfc.com. This might be the one I saw Nate Shook talking about, that we got like over 1,000 applicants, I think, for this one, or the tryouts. That's amazing. That shows how much we're growing. So if you want to get involved, register at bkfc.com. It's going to be awesome. And as I always say, even if you don't get picked, you still get to be in there with an expert like Chris Lytle, so you're going to learn something. Even if you think you know everything, there's always something new to learn. So get involved with that, and hopefully we can see you on the Prospect Series one day. Hopefully we can see you on Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship one day. It's all a process, and that's the start of the process. Whenever people message me or they tweet me, at the Brian Socia, by the way, cheap plug, they say, how do I get into this? How do I fight? I always refer them to tryouts. So bkfc.com, Roanoke, Virginia. If you're in the area, if you can get there, go there and try out and get involved. Chris Lytle, not a better guy to show you the ropes, so to speak. We'll be talking to Chris in a couple minutes, but I was just talking about Bryce Hall a minute ago, and this G. Bryce Hall fight. We've talked about this a lot on the show because I think people, they all want to see him get his ass beat. As I said earlier, they truly do. That's the bottom line. But he's got Lorenzo Hunt in his corner, and G's got Chris Camozzi, and now these two are going to fight each other at BKFC 50, so who knows what could pop off there. I do know that Lorenzo, he recently sent something in. I think he's in his car or something with his family, but he wanted to talk about the Bryce Hall fight. Do we have that clip? Can we roll that clip of Lorenzo, please?
My name is Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt, and I am the most dominant fighter in bare knuckle history. I just want everybody to know that I'm coming out to Albuquerque, New Mexico to show love for Bryce Hall. We coming to show up and show out. Everybody, listen, I want to get a good look out to Bryce Hall. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Let's go, Bryce! Juggernaut live!
Family bonding time with the Juggernaut and his family cheering on Bryce Hall. So that's whose corner he's in. That's who he's sticking with. I'm sure Bryce learned a lot from Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt. I thought it was interesting that he didn't mention Chris Camozzi at all. That was very interesting to me that Lorenzo would not talk about Chris Camozzi. I thought maybe there'd be a little comment about that. So I texted him back a minute ago here on my computer, and I said to him, how about something about Chris Camozzi? And he said, I refuse to speak about that right now. I don't know if that means it's something he just doesn't want to talk about. Does that mean he thinks Camozzi's beneath him? Does that mean, it could mean a million things. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, or maybe he's just not worthy of hearing the Juggernaut talk. Whatever it could be, Lorenzo didn't want to talk about Chris Camozzi. I mean, let's go on the other side. I mean, maybe he doesn't want to talk. Maybe mentally he's not prepared for Chris Camozzi yet. Maybe he's just thinking about Bryce Hall. Maybe he's out there in LA with Bryce Hall, teaching him and getting caught up in the LA lifestyle. We don't know. It's going to be interesting. Who knows what's going to happen? We got a press conference, we got a weigh-in show, and we have the fights. And you have, like I said, Camozzi with G and Lorenzo with Bryce. So anything can pop off, especially, you know, those guys. Lorenzo loves getting his face and name in the news. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. And Camozzi, I mean, he's a guy that's going to try to keep up with Lorenzo as well. They were going back and forth on Instagram the other day. I did see that. I think that Camozzi was talking about, I don't know if it was his spelling or something, making fun of Lorenzo's spelling because of a post that he put up. Anyway, it's going to get heated with those two. You know it is. Chris Lytle coming up in a couple minutes. Another thing I want to talk to before we get into this with Chris Lytle is this is huge, and Chris can talk about this when he comes on in a minute. The ABC, they voted to pass universal bare knuckle rules. David Feldman was very excited about this, over the moon. He made the comment that it's a pivotal moment in the growth of bare knuckle fighting in the United States. And it is that. And what this means, if you don't know, for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is if anybody's on the fence state-wise, they're coming over the fence now. You're going to see a lot more states get legal. You're going to see us coming to a lot more states. There's going to be some that are still not sure about it, but I believe I've heard maybe at least 10 states could come on. it'll be interesting to see who does come on. But in talking with Nate Shook, our matchmaker, and talking with David Feldman, the president, very excited. Big news for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and what this is going to mean for the future of our sport. So we're excited to see that. As I get ready to bring Lights Out Chris Lytle on for Lytle's Locks, there's a lot I want to talk to you about, Chris, a lot, including this ABC announcement and what that means for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. How are you? I mean, you know about this ABC passing the universal rules. How do you feel about it?
Man, ABC, I mean, that's so important. You guys don't get it, man. You guys, I've been here when MMA was nothing. I was here when, it was outlawed in almost every state. When I remember going to watch UFC once on my friend's house, and it wasn't allowed on pay-per-view anywhere. They shut us down, so we had to go through all these different steps. And I remember getting like sanctioned rules throughout the state. It was a huge deal for MMA. It's the same for us. We passed it already. I don't think people can understand the magnitude of what just happened. What you talked about, some of these very pivotal, very key states are now going to be saying, okay, they're letting us in. I mean, it's just a matter of time till we're in Vegas. You don't understand how big this was, Brian. I think most people don't get it. Okay, they passed some rules, big deal. It is a big deal. It's huge for us. Sky's the limit. Things are about to this is going to be a great year for us, man. I'm fired up.
Yeah, I'm fired up too, and I can see the comments. They're fired up. I see Rockline Coleman saying, "Rocket, I can't read. I don't have my specs on, but it says, come on, LA, please come to LA." Well, hopefully we can come to LA. We'll see. I don't know, but we'll see. It is huge. I can't believe it wasn't reported more widely. I know it was reported pretty big, but I thought this would be like smashing news. I agree with you. I don't think people understand until it starts to roll out what a big deal this is going to be. Like I said, Dave and everyone else in the office was over the moon about it, and I was excited because I knew they were going there to get this done. So I was waiting with bated breath too, and great for Bare Knuckle. Very excited time to be a part of the sport. I mean, I guess you'd agree with that. It seems like,
man. Yeah, it's all great, but people are going to something like this doesn't make a big deal until they start opening up states.
Yeah.
This was the first step. People won't notice until the states are open, but it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, and let's talk about right here and now what we have ahead of us. I mean, we're looking forward to the states opening, but we're going to Albuquerque this Friday. It's fight night. You got a press conference Wednesday. You got the weigh-in show Thursday. Like I said, Friday night, big fight, Tingley Coliseum, loud, insane crowd, one of the best fight crowds we fight in front of, we go to. I know you agree with that. And one of our favorite things, Chris, personally, me and you, when we go to Albuquerque, is to go check out the Breaking Bad house. Now, we've talked about this before. He's laughing already. What happened last time with the Breaking Bad house? We got into a fight with the lady who owns it. I mean, not really a fight. She was screaming at us like it was lunacy.
He yelled at us for no reason. We came up, we followed the rules and said, stay on the other side of the street, no problems. He starts calling the police and, I don't know, making fun of my appearance, I think, making fun of something about something. I don't want to know what it was, but I felt offended and my feelings were hurt, so we left.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We're coming back. Maybe she was in a bad mood. Maybe she wants to see us again. That's my theory. Maybe she wants to see us. I want to get a pizza and throw it on the roof, but I'm not going to do it.
I do too. We should bring her flowers. You think that would make her nice to us and see?
No, here's what she should do. If I were her, I would get those little 99-cent pizzas and let people throw them on the roof for $20.
Yeah,
sell them. That's what I would do. That'd be me.
Maybe we can set up like a lemonade stand for an hour or two, but it'll be a pizza stand outside of her development. Just send them in. I mean, from what I understand, the police are tired of her too there, so maybe the police would support us in that.
Yeah, maybe we'll donate the money to the police. That'd be great.
That'd be great. They'd love it. And then I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'd like to throw a pizza at her face too. She's quite annoying. But maybe we'll go back.
She'd probably eat it in one bite. So.
Dude, she did say last time we were there at the Breaking Bad house, she did say to us when she was yelling at us, remember she said, she goes, you want to see a famous landmark? Go to side, find a McDonald's. And somebody, I don't know if it was you, I don't remember who said it, said, it looks like she's found every McDonald's on the face of the planet.
No comment.
I'm not saying it was you. I didn't say it was you. I'm saying somebody in the car.
I said no comment. Anyway, yeah, she said if you want to go to a famous house, go to McDonald's. We're like, come up with some better, info. I don't know. You're pathetic.
It says in the comments here, Chris says, "Hey Chris, make sure you throw a pizza on her roof." People are loving that.
People. I'm not wasting the pizza, but if I were in charge, I would sell pizzas like cheap ones, $20. You throw it on the roof.
I love it. So let's talk about BKFC 48 now that we're done with that hag because she was quite annoying and we did nothing to her. And hopefully she's watching. I doubt she is though, Chris. There it is.
Yeah, she's not watching. There we go.
There it is. There's the graphic. Lytle's Locks.
Definitely.
The Rain Man here. I want to talk about BKFC 48 in the card. It's a great card. Like I said, love coming to Albuquerque. They're always showing up and showing out. They're awesome there. Let's just, first I'll ask you as we look at the card, Are there any fights that you can think of that really like we should be watching that can stand out to you on this card?
I just think if you're looking for somebody to get knocked out, I like the Holloway versus Santiago. I mean, heavy hitters right there. That should be a fun, exciting fight. But, man, all the fights are really good. I mean, what kind of a fight can you watch when you got three different guys with the last name Perez they're fighting?
I was thinking that too.
Going to be good.
I was thinking the same thing. I love it.
Perez. I mean, gee, that's a huge fight.
Yeah.
A lot of people are throwing a lot of hate towards Bryce Hall coming involved, but man, I mean, that's ballsy. You want to come in. This isn't like you're coming into a gloved boxing match or a grappling match. You're coming into bare knuckle. Hey, I got to give the guy respect coming in and trying to do what he's going to try and do bare knuckle wise. I wouldn't jump in there if I've never done real fighting. I know he had one box match that didn't go well. So
yeah, but that was against an influencer though, man. So that's insane. He's going to fight a professional fighter bare knuckle. I mean, again, balls of steel. If you look at it that way, I mean, I think it's balls of stupidity, but that's me because the guy, look, he believes in himself. He truly seems like he believes in himself. So if he wants to fight, if he's doing the training with the juggernaut, Lorenzo Hunt, who are we to deny him that? And we'll see what he's got. I'm curious too. Where are you at with that? I mean, G has the experience, but Bryce is going to be outweighing him a lot of bit, actually.
Bryce has got the size for sure. So it's going to be interesting. This could be a thing like, we do the tryouts here. I'm getting ready to do tryouts, and I want to talk to everybody and say, hey, man, this is like your, fantasy camp. If I want to be a fighter, don't do it because the last thing you want to be on, you don't want to make it to where you can't watch the fights anytime when that guy you fought is on there because you're going to be on the highlight reel. You don't want to make a fool of yourself. It could very well happen for Bryce Hall. But, I mean, then again, maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe bigger, stronger. Maybe he can make this a competitive fight. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, bare knuckle just takes one shot. If he can land a good shot, he could do some damage. Or he go out there and get embarrassed. It's going to be very intriguing. We'll see. I mean, hell, I'm too old. I don't know who Bryce Hall was before he started fighting for us. So I have no idea.
Yeah, other people didn't, but you talk to kids in their 20s, they know right who he is. Apparently, he's a huge star in the social media world. And the other thing you look at, I've seen G. G's in the best shape, as biggest I've ever seen him. I think at the weigh-ins, you're going to see that. G looks like he's in great shape. He's trying to put that weight on. The thing is, though, putting weight on, as a fighter, an athlete, that can actually be uncomfortable. That can be detrimental if he's not used to carrying that weight. So there's a lot at play here, a lot at stake, but I'm looking forward to see how the fight plays out. That's why I'm most looking forward to it.
It's definitely different. Novelty you don't really know, but, man, hell, we're still in a growing phase. I love it, trying to get new eyeballs to watch what we're doing. Hell.
Yeah, gotta give it a shot.
Maybe the guy comes out here and he's a good fighter. We'll find out. Maybe Gio come over there. That'll just help him out. Either way, I'm happy.
Me too. I'm excited to see how it plays out. It's just interesting to me. Let's talk about the feature fight. Keith Rockstar Richardson fighting Derek Perez. Of course, Keith is 2-0 undefeated. Derek Perez is 1-0, which I guess you could say undefeated as well. But, I mean, we've seen Keith Rockstar Richardson this year, I think it was. It was in Myrtle Beach, I believe, fight Justin Scoggins. What a fight that was, man. I'm excited to see what Keith is going to do this time. Always look forward to seeing Keith on a card. It'll be good to see Derek Perez, too. Where are you with that fight?
Well, first of all, the first one we talked about, Keith Richardson versus Scoggins, fight of the year so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was great.
Great fight right there. Perez, here's the thing. I think Richardson had technically, more skill, but Perez is a dog, and he's fighting in his hometown. He's going to be there to fight the whole time. So that's what you got to love about this is, this is not going to be a quick, easy fight. And I mean, you can say that, but things always happen. You never know. But I mean, I would think Perez is going to be there, being a tough guy, being with that home crowd advantage. He's going to put on a great fight. That's all I want to see is, those two guys go at it because, you're getting more and more undefeated people like that, and they're wanting this title. So that's going to set up whoever wins. They're going to take one step closer to getting that title.
So I agree with that. It's going to be, like you said, it'll be a great fight to watch. Where are you with that? I mean, fighting in your hometown, we were just talking to John Dotson, and he mentioned that he hears it and feeds off it. Some guys say, well, it's cool, they block it out. When you were fighting, if you were fighting, and you have, I believe, in front of your hometown, what's that like? Does that propel you more, or you just block it out?
Well, you try and control it because you don't want it to affect you too much too early, because if you start going too much, your adrenaline goes away. That sucks. If you don't want to have that adrenaline done, but it can definitely affect you. You start hearing everybody chant your name and it's a close fight, it can definitely help you out. The only thing that sucks is the time before that, like when all of a sudden you're trying to concentrate on the fight and everybody's calling you, asking you for tickets. That can be a pain in the ass. Tough to deal with all the little things you don't think about, but doing the actual fight, I think it can be a benefit.
I'm reading the chat here, and there's Dangerous Darren here saying that I'm not interacting with the chat enough. I'm sorry, Dangerous Darren. I didn't mean to make you cry.
Dangerous. Get on
Oh, man.
Social, we need more from you.
So I'm looking, but I am looking at the chat here. I think I've interacted great with the chat. I always check in to see how you guys are doing.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying they would like to go with you to throw pizza on the roof for the Albuquerque house with Breaking Bad. And then I see that, who's this? Swervo Cuts is saying that he can't wait to see these fights we're talking about. And Mindbender says that Brian had a good point about the Bryce Hall fight. Well, thank you. I do know stuff once in a while when I analyze them. But I bring Lido on here to make the great points, and he has some great points too. And then let's look at the main event. John the Magician Dotson, 2-0 versus Jared Lion Ridge, who's 3-1. Dotson has just been running through people, dude. I mean, you've seen it. He said, "I'm going to sacrifice my hands," but I feel like J.R. Ridge feels like, from the spotlight I watched on the app, that maybe Dotson should be kind of thinking more about this fight, not thinking he's going to run through him. Where are you at with that fight?
Well, very interesting. John Dotson's been so good because he's been so accurate with his hands, landing hard shots, getting those quick knockouts. But here's the thing, bare knuckle, he's only been in there, 140 seconds, you said?
141,
141 seconds. So that's the thing. John Dotson has been successful, but what's going to happen if the fight does go longer? You got Ridge, he understands pacing. He understands he's been the distance. He understands what it takes to go a little bit longer, how to pace yourself. How's that John Dotson going to be in the second round, third round? We don't know. There's a lot of question marks right there. So, if Dotson can get his opponent out quick, that's great. If not, what's he going to have in the second, third round, in the fourth round, the fifth round? I mean, is JR going to be able to slow the fight down enough to where he can make it? We're going to see what happens there. And that's why it's an intriguing fight. You have one guy who's just been dominant, but he's only been dominant for 141 seconds. There's a big difference between doing that and for doing it for 10 minutes,
And that was my thought, too. That's a great point, Chris. That was my thought, too. Not only that, he has, as I said to Dotson a while ago, does it intrigue you? Is it interesting to you that JR's got more experience? He's gone longer, and Dotson was just like, look, a fight's a fight. I go as long as I need to go. So I guess we're going to find out Friday night if it goes that far. BKFC.com. Grab the app. BKFC 48 live in Albuquerque. You're going to hear these fans coming through your TV. They're boisterous, they're crazy, and they're amazing. I don't know how you can commentate. I don't know how you can concentrate with the noise in that arena. It's so nuts.
It's also free.
Oh, it is free. Thank you. That's right. How would I forget that? It's free. Did you know that, Lido?
What's free?
BKFC.com. Grab the app. You sign up. You can get it for free. The fight on Friday night. So if you're just tuning in and you're not a fan yet, you can watch the fight for free. All you have to do is sign up.
What? I mean, you know what that's going to mean? That means I don't get paid this fight. I don't like it. I want these guys, come on, we need to, let's donate some money to us. Give us some money, please. We're going to give you this one for free because then you're going to be hooked. Once you watch this stuff, you're like, man, this is the greatest thing. I mean, I don't watch really any other sports anymore.
It's hard.
Baseball, get out of here. Football, whatever. This stuff's no good. I'm a combative sports athlete watching, and this is my favorite thing to watch. That's why I like to do commentary. I just want to get a front row seat.
You do. You have a front row seat. It's funny because you and Sean, when you guys do commentary, it's almost like if you've never watched a broadcast, if you have, maybe you'll agree. It's almost as if I'm sitting on my couch and I'm just hanging out with you two, and we're talking about the fight. Like I'm the third man listening in. I don't feel like you're talking at me. I feel like you're talking to me. You're educating me, and I think that's why you guys are a great team. I think we have one of the best teams in the business, including Cyrus and Jeff as well. There it is, this Friday, live and free, BKFC.com. Grab that app, sign up, and you can watch it live and free. Free so all the Bryce Hall fans can watch him get knocked out. I think it's what Gator Wrestler's getting at in the chat here. A lot of Bryce Hall dislike. But you know who I do like? I like Chris Lights Out Lido. I'm glad you made the time to come on today. When am I going to see you? When are you getting into Albuquerque so all your fans can be waiting with autograph books and cameras when you get off the plane?
Relax. I mean, I get there Wednesday. Hopefully people have to work or something. I don't know. I don't want a big, fanfare going on for that. We'll do it that Friday night at the fights. It's going to be great because, hey, if you really want to come see me, come out to Virginia on the 19th. We got tryouts, man. I want to see everybody there. We got a lot of people signed up. Hopefully half the people show up who say they're coming out because that's my job now, is to get new fighters, recruit people. So anybody who thinks they have what it takes, come on out there. Like I said earlier, I'm not looking for people who just say, I always want to fight on TV. I want people who actually want to fight, who have the ability, think they can do it. Come on out and we'll give you a go. We'll look at it and see what we think.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Again, that's how we find the next generation of fighters, especially we're in this youth movement right now with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. And I feel like we've gone from, we still use, people that are not super old, but we had to do that.
Seasoned.
It's seasoned. That's the great way to put it. Seasoned vets. We still use them. We love them. But
I mean, here's the thing. When you get fighters and they've been doing this MMA sport or boxing, you do MMA for 10, 12 years, your back hurts, your legs hurt, your knee. It's hard to make it through a camp. You don't got to worry about any of that when you do bare knuckle. It can extend your career for 5, 6 years because you still have something left in the tank, but you can't get through a camp because it hurts your body. This doesn't hurt your body. You could do a camp. It makes it so much better. I think you're going to see a lot of guys who go, man, why do I want to go in there and do all that? I love jiu-jitsu, don't get me wrong, but, man, it's tough to practice like that and train for a fight. These fighters can come over here, give it their all, and have some and we still got a lot of guys with a lot left in the tank that need to be fighting bare knuckle.
yeah, Brian Maxwell is in here, and he's talking about how excited he is for the Trouts to be in his city, so he's excited to have us here. So shout out to Red Rims. He's in the chat as well. I agree with you on that. As far as every MMA fighter I've talked to that's come over here all say the same thing. They'd rather just worry about this, a couple cuts. It's part of the job description. You don't worry about getting your leg broken. It's just stand-up fighting, and it seems like that's the most primal thing we can do, and that's why we're glad to be doing it. Chris Lights Out Lido, I'll see you if I can see past all the autograph seekers and the flash bulbs when you get off the airplane.
Yeah.
I'll see you in Albuquerque.
Sounds good, buddy. I'll be seeing you then, and we'll go do the Breaking Bad tour again. We'll go around, do some stuff. I know it's gonna be fun. Maybe go to Pollo Your Locos or whatever what place was. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, that's
Hermanos.
right. That's right. The
Hermanos.
restaurant. We did go there.
Hermanos.
Yeah, it was
We'll
good.
eat some food again. It'll be fun.
I think it'll be fun. I'll bring the eggs to her house. You bring the pizzas, and we'll just destroy the poor lady. All right, sounds good. Chris Lights Out Lytle, thanks for coming on, man. I'll talk to you in Albuquerque this Friday night.
Man.
All right. There he goes, Chris Lights Out Lytle, a very important part of our organization. He brings, like we said, he's a seasoned vet. He brings the knowledge. He brings on commentary. He brings the knowledge to the tryouts. We love having him as part of the team. It seems like you all love him in the chat as well. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Before we get out of here, we promise you some recent signings. Now, I don't even get a look at these things, so I don't know how many we have. I don't know who they are. So we're going to flash them up here on the board and give you some recent signings for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Oh, they're in front of me. I'm sorry. Here we go. Multi-fight deal. Charlene Gellner, multi-fight deal. This women's division's been on fire. I mean, we just keep signing more and more women, and I feel like the fans are really enjoying the women's division, so I'm glad to have them come through. They fight with such passion. All right, let's check out who the next multi-fight deal. Here it is. Christina Christ signed a multi-fight deal as well. Like I said, more female signings. This is awesome. You can check out more about these fighters at BKFC.com. We'll be updating you in the future. Congratulations to Christina Christ signing a multi-fight deal with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Do we have any more? Yeah, one more, they tell me. All right, let's see. It was last minute. Oh, this is the one that just went in before the show. I did hear you guys talking about this. He's loading it. This is literally breaking news, hot off the press. Let me check in the comments. So Dangerous Darren, 25 watching. Need I say more? And Brian, I think you may need to change your knickers. Okay, I'll change them. Diamond Long is I believe it's a multi-fight deal as well. I can't see. Yes, multi-fight deal. Diamond Long's here. These are all female signings today. That's what I mean. Jules has been crushing it with signing these females. I can't wait to see them step in the squared circle. There you go. 3 new signings to talk about. We're on the move here at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Have an amazing schedule coming up. You can check that at BKFC.com, see where we're going to be next. We have Miami, the Prospect Series, August 24th. August 25th, we're also in Miami for BKFC 49. Then we roll into Denver for BKFC 50. You saw it, Hunt versus Camozzi. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. But for now, I remind you, as we head to Albuquerque for BKFC 48, which you can watch for free, get Knuckle up. Oh, I screwed up my outro. I screwed up my own outro. Get bucked up and knuckle up.
To the inside left hand. Coming forward, right to the body, left hand. Right hand, left hand. We might be done, and we are. A massive win for John Dodson. Welcome to BKFC. Final seconds of this fight.
It's not going to be a technical boxing match. It's going to be a dogfight.
Alvarez. Carry left hand, knockdown number 2.
There's that accuracy we talked about.
Richardson to the body, to the head. Big shots, knockdown number 1. Those long straight punches on the counter right hand. Straight 1-2 from Dodson. Overhand right hand. Down goes Nick Villar. Overhand left from Santiago. Knockdown number 4.